Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to make a responsive navigation. You can see on my screen, I have created a beautiful responsive navigation. It is a hot pink color and it has two sections. In the first section, I have created the brand name, that is digital, and in the next section, it has links. Okay, so it is also responsive. It fits as per the size increases or decreases. Let me show you. Okay, so when I decreasing its size, see, it changes the second half of the navigation gets hidden and a hamburger menu opens, right? And when I press on the hamburger menu, then you can see all the links comes down in the bottom with a background color of blue, and the hamburger icon changes into cross icon, right? When I press this in cross icon, you can see it then again changes in the hamburger menu. Okay, so it is a sidebar for our smaller screens. It doesn't happens on big screen, but when the size decreases and comes down to the below say 800 pixel, below, when I decrease the size and it comes below 800 pixel, you see the next section of the navigation, or these four links gets hidden, and and at this position our hamburger menu comes, and this is which we want. When I press it, it opens the sidebar. Okay, and it is a responsive navigation. When I decrease the screen to little too more, see, at 119 pixel it is still responsive, it is still working. When I press on the hamburger menu, it opens the sidebar links easily, and okay, and when I close this, it close down the sidebar. Okay, so this is the responsive navigation. I am going to teach you everything about how can we make a responsive navigation so that it fits at all screen sizes. Whatever screen size, it fits its content at, at any screen size. Okay, so let's get started. Hey, you can see I have created a navigation folder, and in which I have created one file, that is index.html. So let me add the boilerplate. I have Emmet extension installed in my Visual Studio Code. So if I press tab, then it creates the boilerplate, and this saves the time, and that's why I think Emmet extension you all should download. In the body tag, what we have first, let's see. Okay, so create a div tag, and we give class name to navigation, and wrap this div tag in section tag, and give class name to navigation section. In the navigation, we have two sections. One section have a brand name, and the other two section have a links. Okay, so let's create two div tag in the navigation container. Let's create two div. This is a brand div in which we have we are writing our brand as a in h2 tag, digital, in the second div tag, that is the second section of our navigation, give class name to navigation links, and in this we have four links, right? In the final version we have four links: services, about, register, and login. And it is a hover over effect. When I hover over these links, it changes its color. Initially it was white, but when I hover over, it changes its color to blue. So it is a very beautiful effect. We will make it with the help of CSS. Okay, so right now give name to links: services, okay. So we have created the HTML, the body of our navigation in the HTML file. So now it's time to create the style sheet for it. In the styling tag, I am first selecting my section of navigation, which is a navigation section class. Select it and give it background color hot pink and height 6 rem. If you don't know what is rem, 1 rem is equal to 16 pixel. Let me repeat it. Let me write it in the comment. 1 rem is equal to 16 pixel, and it is the root font size of our HTML. Okay, so the root font size initially is 16 pixel of almost all the browsers, and in my browser, in my website browser, the default font size is 16 pixel. Okay, so now we are selecting the navigation container that has two sections. The first half has the digital brand name, and the second section has the links. Okay, I am selecting its container. Give width to 80%. Okay, so let me show you how it looks in the screen. Okay, so link the style sheet so that the color gets effect on the page. Okay, so this is the navigation section, and it is taking the 100% width of our page, and this is which we want, but it has some space in the left and the right side. Okay, so what is this? Okay, so see, uh, we have default margin. This is the default margin this section has. Okay, so we have to remove it. So how can we remove it? With the asterisk sign, give margin 0. So when I save margin 0, and when I go to the page, see the extra space gets hidden, and this is which we are want. And give box everything, box sizing, border box, so that we can make styling more easier. And this is a stick sign, and it is selecting all the elements. Give navigation. Let's set background color to our navigation container. I am adding blue violet color to navigation container and give width to 80%. When I save it and see, our navigation container has taken 80% width of our parent container, and parent container is our navigation section and that has 100% width, but our navigation container is taking 80% width of our parent container, that is navigation section. Okay, but we also want to align this navigation container in middle of our navigation section. Okay, so how can we do it? We can achieve it with, if I give margin auto, see, if I give margin auto, okay, if I give margin auto and save it, see, our navigation container gets aligned in the middle of our navigation section, and this is which we want. But right now the navigation container, the height of our navigation container is not same as our navigation section. Okay, so how can we change the height of our navigation section that it should same as the navigation parent section? Okay, so if I give height 100% to our navigation container, it, see, it has taken now 100% height of our parent section, that is navigation section. Okay, and give display and give display flex. Right now the flex direction is row. Okay, so if I give justify content space between, our our child gets aligned, our first child gets aligned to the left and the second child gets aligned to the right, and there should be a maximum space in between both the childs because we have added space between value to justify content property. And this is which we want. Our second navigation section gets aligned to the right side and our first navigation section gets aligned to left side, and there should be a maximum space between these. Let's select this brand name and increases the font size. Our brand is in navigation container and has a class name of brand. Okay, so to select our brand, we have to select our navigation class first, then select our brand, and we can give now font size. Font size is 2.8 rem, color black, and padding left em, and padding right. Okay, so what is em? Em is also a relative unit. And comment font size. If the font size, see, if the font size is 16 pixel, suppose if the font size is 16 pixel, then 1 em is also equals to 16 pixel. Em is always relative to its font size of self container. Okay, so in the h2 I have given 16 pixel font size, so 1 em is now it is going to take 16 pixel. Okay, if I increase the font size to 30 pixel, then 1 em is equal to 30 pixel. Okay, so 1 em is always related to its font size of self container in which you define font size. Okay, so I have defined font size of 30 pixel, so 1 em is equals to 30 pixel. Whatever the font size you define, em takes that value. This is em. This is how em works. Okay, right now our font size is 2.8 rem, and that is exactly 2.8 rem. How much 2.8 rem is? To calculate 2.8 rem, see, 1 rem is equal to 16 pixel. So how much 2.8 rem? 2.8 into 16, whatever value is our the font size. Okay, so if I multiply this, it is 44.8 pixel. It is 44.8 pixel. So 1 em is equal to 44.8 pixel, and 0.5 pm equals to 22.4 pixel, right? The half gets em. Okay, here we have declared 0.5 em. I said that em always takes the value of font size. Okay, our font size is now 44.8 pixel because the font size has a rem value, and one rem is equal to 16 pixels. So 2.8 rem is equal to 44 pixels, and 1 em equals to 44 pixels. But in the padding left, padding right, we have given half em. Okay, so whatever font size, make it half. Okay, so padding left, now it is going to 22.8 pixels. See, this is the measurement works. And save this and see. Yeah, our font size has been increased. In the navigation, let's give align items. So the content of our navigation goes in the middle axis, that is the x-axis. Okay, so let's give padding to these four links. It has the navigation links parent class. So let's select that navigation links. Navigation dot navigation link, and it's all okay. This is selecting all the links. We are in the navigation container, and in the navigation container we are in the navigation links, and in the navigation links it is going to select this anchor tag. We have four anchor tags, right? So it is going to select all the four anchor tags, and let's give padding left 1.5 rem, padding right 1.5 rem, cursor pointer, color white, font size is also 1.5 rem, and font weight 500. And save this. Look at the page. See, it looks good now. It has white colors, and it has some spaces in between them. Okay, so our navigation is now it's time to make our navigation response. Okay, see, when I decrease when I resize the screen, when I decrease the size, see, below 800 pixel, when it comes down at 800 pixel, when it hits the 800 pixel width, and when it goes down more, we don't want these navigation links to be appear here. Okay, instead of these links, we want our hamburger menu comes down. Okay, so when we goes down, and when we hit the mark of 800 pixel, we want our hamburger menu should appear instead of the at the place of these links. Okay, so how can we achieve this? We are giving media screen and giving max width. There is no string in the value, and what we want here, when we decrease our screen and at the below 800 pixel, that is max width 800 pixel, means whatever property we add here, is going to affect when our screen is below 800 pixel. Okay, so these properties are going to execute till 800 pixel screen size. Okay, so when you go after 800 pixels, these properties not going to work, but below 800 pixel with all the properties in this media query is going to work. Okay, so in this media queries we want our navigation to be hide. Okay, so how can this dot navigation links display none? When I save this, see, our navigation has hidden, and this is which we want. Okay, so now what we want our hamburger menu should come at the right corner. Okay, so right center corner of our navigation container. Okay, so how, but we have not made hamburger menu, so it's let's make hamburger menu. For making hamburger menu, create a div element, give class name to hamburger menu, and in this add horizontal rows, 3 horizontal rows. Save this, make styling of it. So after navigation here, give width 1.5 rem, height also 1.5 rem, cursor pointer. When I save this, and and also we have to select these horizontal rows and give styling to it. So hamburger menu and its horizontal rows, height 3 pixel, margin top 0.3 rem, same as margin bottom 0.3 rem. Give background color white to horizontal rows so it appears more good. And if you see this in the screen, see our horizontal row has a 3 pixel height and it is a background color of white. Okay, when I select this element, see, this is our hamburger menu, and this is our rows. Okay, so our hamburger menu is looking good. Give width to 100%, so its horizontal row always takes the width of its container, right? And its container has a width of 1.5 rem, so this hr is going to, this horizontal row is always going to cover all the width of the parent container. Okay, so when I width 100%, see, our hamburger menu is looking good. Now it's time to, when I click on the hamburger menu, it should open the navigation links. Which navigation links? See, it should open this navigation links. When I click on this hamburger menu, it should open these links, but below, below down, right? And but how can we achieve this? See, it can be achieved. Okay, so with the help of JavaScript we can achieve this easily. Create an index.js file. In the index file, first give alert so that we know our file has added, and link it link our index file in the body tag. Let's set index file, and in the source attribute give path name of our file. Our index file is in the root directory and in the index file. See, when I save this, and see, we have added alert message in the index file, and so when we link the file and it gets successfully linked, it shows alert message in our screen. Okay, so it indicates that our file has been linked completely. So we can now do anything in the index file. So first I am selecting the hamburger button. With the query selector. See, our hamburger menu has a class of hamburger menu, है ना? Okay. Let's select the navigation links. And our navigation container has the navigation links class that has all the links. On the hamburger button, add event listener of click event, and in the second argument, it is going to execute the callback function, that is this function, in which what we want navigation links dot class list dot add show class. And if we go in the screen, and when I click on this hamburger menu, see you can see in the right section in the div tag it added the show class. Okay, again let me do it again. See, right now this div tag has only one class, that is navigation links, but when I click on this hamburger menu, suddenly a show class added to it. Okay, so with the help of this show class we can make styling for our navigation links and place it in below this container. Okay, so this is why we have added show class. Okay, so let's add the styling for show class in the style tag. The first thing is position absolute light blue. Okay, when I save this, see why our navigation link doesn't come below, because navigation links has show class. Okay, so what does it mean? Navigation links deep that has the show class, then this code is going to run. Okay, but if I don't include navigation, what we want, when I click on this hamburger menu, our navigation links that has the show class gets executed. Okay, so the properties gets executed when our navigation links has the show class. Okay, but when we don't have show class, then this code doesn't get executed. Okay, when I save this, when I click on this hamburger menu, the navigation link doesn't come, because right now the display none is it is taking overriding our show class because it has a display none value in the media queries. In the below 800 pixel width, we have added that display none. Navigation link doesn't appear in below 800 pixel, but here we want to appear when we have a show class. Okay, so when we have a show class, then we want to display these navigation links as a flex, right? And if I save this, see, this came. Okay, so this navigation link should always be below this container. Okay, so below this container, and should also be, and its position should also be absolute with below this container. Okay, so we have added absolute position, but from the top, how many rem it should cover? The height. Okay, so what is the height of our navigation? See, in the navigation we have added, in the navigation section, our navigation section is height 6 rem. Okay, so our navigation link should always from top 6 rem. Okay, from top 6 rem, so that it can place below this container, below this navigation container. Okay, so if I give top 6 rem, see, now our navigation takes the comes at the right place where we want. Okay, but it has the width, which is less. Okay, so how many width we want our navigation link should cover? Okay, so our navigation link should cover 80% of width that we have given in the navigation, same as we have given 80% width. Okay, so this should also cover 80% width. And flex direction column. Why column? Because we want to links aligned one from top to bottom. Okay, not from left to right. And let's align these links at the center. Okay, so align item center pushes these all the links in the center of this flex box. Okay, so everything is fine. Let's again select it. When, okay, this time we are selecting the anchor text. Anchor text, when our navigation links has the show class, then we want its anchor text should have padding top 1.5 rem, padding bottom same as top 1.5 rem. Give cursor pointer and font size 1.2 rem. Then I save this. See, now it has some space in between. Okay, padding which we have given. Okay, so now it looks more good. Okay, so now it's time to do, it's time to add the close button. Okay, so when I click on this hamburger menu, it opens the sidebar, right? Okay, but it should also change this hamburger menu to close menu. Okay, so that we can close it. So how can we change this hamburger menu to close button when we click on it? Okay, so it's the, so we are adding show class to hamburger menu. Okay, instead of add, we can use toggle. Okay, so what is toggle and what is the difference between toggle? So toggle means when our show class is not there, when then it is going to open the show class. Okay, but when the show class is open, then it is going to close the show class. Okay, so this is toggle works. When the door is open, it closes. Door means here is when this our navigation has show class, and when we click on it, it closes down. It hides the show class. Okay, but when it doesn't have a show class, then it opens show class or adds show class to our navigation div. Okay, so that's why instead of adding instead of add I have given toggle in both the buttons. Same as if so initially we don't want to display our hamburger menu, but below 800 pixel in the media queries we are adding display block so that it comes at the screen. See, now it is coming, but when I go after 800 pixel, it gets hide and our navigation links come. Okay, but when I decrease the size, our hamburger menu comes. Okay, so this is one functionality we achieved. Okay, so we were working on close button. Okay, so when I click on it, it should change to close button. Okay, so what's the logic is, when our hamburger menu has a show class in it, or when we add show class to our hamburger menu, then it's before then when we add before class to it, before means we are adding before element in this div tag, and also after element in this div tag. Before I write the code, first we don't want we don't want this horizontal row should appear when we click on this hamburger menu. Okay, so let's hide these horizontal rows. Okay, so we have three horizontal rows. When our hamburger menu has a show class in it, then its horizontal rows, here horizontal row is going to select all the horizontal rows, so doesn't display on the screen. Okay, so display none. Then I save this and see, it hides. Okay, but instead of this place, what we want cross menu. Okay, so we are working on this. Okay, so we are making cross menu. First write this and give content. Okay, so whatever content you write here. Okay, so in the content property, if I add ma my name Mayank. Okay, so when I save this, see, let's write after here. So what's happening is, see, this is our hamburger menu, and here in which I have inserted before element and after element. Okay, so this before element has the content property of my. Okay, so whatever content value I give gets rendered in the div in the left side. Okay, so before in the before selector, whatever content you give gets rendered in the left side of our div. Okay, so this is the our this is our container that has the hamburger menu, and the left side Mayank gets rendered. Okay, and same as we have also said that in the after means in the right side of our div tag, the content is going to get rendered. That's why we have two Mayank here. Okay, first Mayank is the before element, and the second Mayank is the after element. Before element is the left side element of our container, and the after element is the right side element of our container, and in between this the actual content renders. Okay, what are these actual content which we have added in the HTML? Okay, this is the middle content. So this is how content property works. Okay, but here we don't want to give any content because we are adding lines here. Okay, so let's remove any content from this content value and give width. We are not adding any content, but we are making a line of width 2 pixel and height 100% and position absolute. Our line is always be in the container. Okay, so that's why we are giving actual position. If I save this, and if you see in the, okay, so give background color, so our line gets see, instead of giving height 100%, give height 1.5 rem, and see at when you select the before element, see it is a height, it is a line of height 1.5 rem and width 2 pixel, and that has the position absolute. Okay, so before and after is same because we have given position absolute. Okay, that's why now the before element is not in the left side and the after element is the element is not in the right side of our container because we have given absolute position. Okay, so that's why it is on the same position. So what we want our first before element should rotate 45 degrees, so it looks like it looks like the cross line. So how can we do it? Same, our hamburger menu that has the show class and the before element rotate with the transform property 45 degree. When I save this and when you look and see one line gets rotated 45 degree. Okay, the first child gets rotated 45 degree and it is pointing towards this direction. Okay, so rotate the same after element but in the opposite direction. Okay, so how can we rotate in the opposite direction? If we add minus to it, then it rotates the after element, it is not before element, after element in the opposite direction. So now it looks like the cross exact which we wanting. It is now looking exactly like that cross element. Okay, so okay, see it is working. When I close this, it is also closing because we have added toggle. Okay, toggle as earlier I said, toggle is going to add the show class when it doesn't have this. When I click on this hamburger button, it has a click at event listener. When I click on it, it is going to toggle the show class. Okay, but right now it doesn't have a show class. Okay, so when I click on it, it toggles show class with our navigation links, and our navigation links has a show class, and in the show class we have added styling in it. You can see in the here we have added styling in it, and this styling makes these navigation links to come down at the bottom of this container with the help of these properties. And when I close this, when I again click on this hamburger menu, see when I again click on this hamburger menu, it is going to remove the show class because it has opened show class. When I again click on it, it is going to remove the show class. That's why right now our navigation links is not showing here. Okay, because it doesn't have a show class. When I click on it, it adds it it places our navigation links below this container, but when I close down it hides it. Okay, so this was our logic. Okay, so let's time to make it more responsive. Okay, see when I resizing the screen and when I going down below down below down, see the hamburger menu goes outside the container. Okay, this is which we don't want. Our hamburger menu should always be in the container. So how can we do it? Right now our hamburger menu is going outside of our container. See, you can see when I select this hamburger menu, see when I select this hamburger menu, it is, see you can see it is going outside of our navigation container. So we don't want this. So if I add in the navigation container flex wrap value, see now our hamburger menu comes down below the digital heading in the container itself. Okay, so it is now going to outside. Now it is not going to outside of the container. Okay, so this is the benefit of flexible property. Our page is responsive. See, page is responsive. It is opening the sidebar at 174 pixel. Okay, it is responsive. And at the 200 pixel we can decrease the font size of this heading, okay, so that it looks more responsive. So let's add one more media query. 200 pixel and select this heading. Dot navigation 1.25 rem. When you save this and see on the screen, now the heading is looking good at 162 pixel. And see, if you notice, we have given padding left 0.5 em. Okay, so what is the benefit? What was the benefit of adding em in the padding left and padding right? Is, see, when I did earlier, it has the font size of 2.8 rem. Okay, so that is equal to 44 pixel exactly. But now at the with the help of media queries, and when the screen is below 200 pixel, the font size gets smaller and it becomes 1.25 rem. Okay, when the font size gets smaller, see, I have told you that em is always relative to its font size of the container in which you apply font size. Okay, so right now h2 is a block in which I have added font size 1.25 rem, which is smaller than 2.8 rem. So the em is also going to get smaller. This is the benefit of adding ems at paddings, okay, and for making responsive layout. Okay, so you can see our navigation is responsive. Okay, so we have made our navigation. Only one thing is remaining, if that is when I hover over these links, it should change the color, and we also want this container color should change. Okay, so first of all, uncomment the background color of our navigation container and add cursor pointer here at the h2 brand h2, and in the links, navigation links, when we hover over, it should change the color from white to blue violet. Okay, so when I save this, see, it looks more beautiful now. When I hover over the links, it is changing its color, and our blue color of our container gets gone. Okay, so now we have a final version of our navigation, which is a finished navigation.